CJ with ART. This is part 2 of the 2008 BMW 328 valve cover install. After you get everything wired, your wire harness and everything, all your coils drop back down, snap them down, with the caps up, of course. Push, until they snap all the way down in place. Push your harness in and then actually start to fold it down, and it'll push it in the rest of the way, but also use your finger to push it in, make sure it's seated all the way. You'll see about that much of a gap on each one. It's all the way seated. As far as this valve, the Vanos unit, when you slide it back up into place, just kind of wiggle it, slide it into place, and there's a Torx head screw right under there, and there are two of them, one here and one on that side. Once you push and slide it up into place, you have to hold it, and you may need somebody else to give you a hand to actually tighten up the Torx head screw there. But that's about it on that. As far as the drip rail tray, there's the bolts here, there's the nut here, and then there's another one underneath here. Then on this side, there's one here, and there's one here in the middle. And pretty much you can slide your stress bar back in there, and it comes across and it goes here, whatever, with the big bolt in the middle out there, and then the smaller ones on the outer sides. And then hook up your wiper and all that stuff like that, and here's the actual where the water comes in for the washer fluid. And put the cover back on, and then slide your locks in place, and then push your little tabs down here and here. There's also a little grommet right here with a part number on it. You'll see it right there. See that? It just slides down in there. Sit it in place. You can see it kind of moving around there. Sit it down in there, and then put the cover on. And you'll have to play with it a little bit, but it's better to put this one on first and then that one. That's pretty much it. We changed the sensor on the bottom of the coolant tank. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And here's the rest of the tray that goes around the wipers and everything, with the two sensors that hook up, and then the water line and so forth. And then there's the big tray that goes on last, and the power wires, they all feed in through here. And then then there's a top piece that snaps together. It's around here somewhere. But anyway, oh yeah, the air filter cubby, this is for the air filter to sit in there, the cabin filter, excuse me. That's about it. We're gonna finish this up and set the bottle down in place and put the hardware in there to mount it down. Just mounts here like that. You see how we did it? We just kind of swung it back and bungee corded it out of the way without doing any damage to anything. We rerouted all the harnesses back down like that. And these, you have to route them. It's a little routing diagram, but you can kind of figure out which way they go. They just go kind of like that, all the way down, for the oxygen sensors or whatever. And there's that little clip I was talking about. You have to take off the other valve cover. It's in the very back right there. Make sure you put that back on, because that keeps it from falling down, in the back of the engine. And there's the new tube, the one we put in. That was fun. That was very fun to put in. But like I say, the tube is it can fold up. This one here, so you can bend it quite a bit. See, it won't break or anything. It's accordion type hose, so it'll bend enough for you to feed it underneath the intake. Now getting it off is a whole nother ball game. The one that was right here, that one, I was able to push the tabs in place here and here. If you don't have a long needle nose plier, I use 2 pliers, or you can use a long needle nose. At the time, I don't have one right now. It's at the other shop. So I use 2 pliers. I just push the tab in on the other side. See it? That right there. And Just make sure to seat it down when you put it back together, of course. This one I had to break because see how it's sideways. I had to actually reach down in there and break the tab. See, I just snapped it with a pair of with a long pick. I just put it in there and twisted it, and it broke that little deal. So that way it was a lot easier to just, you know what I mean, like that, and get it out of there. That's it. It's real tedious, but you know, then put your wipers and everything back in place, you'll be back to go. Now, as far as the actual Vanos unit here, you're supposed to cycle the key on and off 2 times. And I think you have to look that up online though to be sure, but I think you cycle it on for about maybe 30 seconds or something like that, and then cycle the key back off without cranking the car, of course. So don't put your foot on the brake. Just hit the button, cycle it, and cycle it back off, you know what I mean? And that will actually make the unit here, the screw drive system, it'll go like that, you know, and it'll line itself up the way it's supposed to. I don't think there's any other problem. We've already done this before. We did a valve cover gasket on the very first one, which was that hole in there. That was the first time. But this time we had to change the whole cover. So for you guys who are doing valve cover or just the gasket, this would apply to both those jobs. And if you do the gasket, make sure you change this footwall, because they will leak over time, start pouring oil everywhere like this one was doing. So until next time, this is CJ with ART. Restore your car at yahoo.com.